Greetings friends, currently on the square table we are playing through Secrets of Tixal Mission 1. This is an Age of Fantasy narrative campaign by one-page rules at a 15mm scale. The play area is the custom board that I designed. I will post links for a full video about this, and I will also post download links so you can grab the free PDF and print on your own. Just a few house rules. All measurements are converted down to half of their original length, and my units are not a group of individual models but are instead printed together in a group diorama, and I just keep up with the unit strengths and wounds using tokens and dice. This narrative campaign features the Duches of Vinci versus the Saurians. I'm playing the campaign using AI rules for Da Vinci, using logic that I personally made. Most of this will be explained in the video as I go. So first I have 810 points of Duches of Vinci. I will activate the list in the same order as I play, starting with the Caramato, the Vita Area, 1 unit of Militia, 1 unit of Harlequins, Lucrezia, who is a special narrative unit, and Enato, who is another special narrative unit. I will post the list on the screen if you want to pause and review. Facing against Da Vinci are 840 points of Saurians, starting with Teki, a special narrative unit that uses magic, Hakatlo, another narrative unit with a decent amount of melee attacks, 1 unit of Geckos, 1 unit of Chameleons for a little bit of range attacks, a Spiked Lizard, and a Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus model has a rider, but I haven't had that activated in upgrades yet. Once again, I will post a list on the screen in case you want to pause and review. In order for the enemy AI to work properly, I'm going to initially have all Da Vinci units move towards Teki as a main target. And then when any other unit gets within melee or shooting range, they can prioritize that. Also, another personal house rule. In order for the enemy AI to be a real threat, they will move normally and take their full range movements as far as charge and half for shooting. But I will use a pair of special D3 dice for movement. The sum of the 2 dice for rush and charges, and then 1 dice for the move and shoot. As far as the standard core rules, I'm usually a skirmish player, so I don't really play the full army scale that much. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have questions as I go, just depending on if I run into certain situations. So feel free to comment if I do something wrong, and if you're watching this video and you have questions, just check out the comments and usually somebody will set me straight. Alright, so let's get into the game. This is the Secrets of Tixal Mission 1 by one-page rules. This chapter is called Spotted. Round 1. In this particular mission, the Saurians will activate first. I will need to get 3 of my units across the battlefield to an escape zone. Teki will be my first unit to activate. He has Strider, and I will rush using 2 movement dice. And I only get 2 spaces. Working down my list for Da Vinci, first will be the Vita Area. It is not in range for either melee or shooting, so it will just rush 6 spaces south. I think that I will move the Spinosaurus to intercept and block units trying to get to the southern pass. The Spinosaurus does not have Strider, so I perform a rush roll using 2 dice, but 3 spaces is the maximum that it can move because of difficult terrain. And I get 3 spaces. The Duches of Vinci have an army special rule called Vinci Tech, in which basically every time a unit activates, you may pick whether this unit will get a bonus +1 in hit rolls or a +1 in AP. Just to make things simple for the rest of this video, I am always going to use the +1 AP. The militia is in charge range, so they will charge and melee with the Spinosaurus. The militia has a single die attack per model with spears, and they were still at a power level of 10, so 10 dice total. One of the militia is a sergeant, so 9 of the dice will be in red, and the sergeant's die will be white, and it will get a bonus if it passes. Militia is hitting on 5s, and gets 3 hits without the sergeant. With the AP 1 against it, the Spinosaurus will be defending on 4s. It only gets 1 save for a total of 2 wounds. That will knock the Spinosaurus from a tough 12 to a tough 10. The Spinosaurus will strike back using 2 melee attacks. The first one will be Stomp. Stomp is a 4 dice attack with AP 1 hitting on 4s. And we get 3 hits. With the AP 1, the militia will be saving on 6s. And no saves for 3 wounds. Next will be the Toxic Bite, a 6 die attack with Bane hitting on 4s. Ooh, we get 4 hits, and 2 of them activate Primal, which lets me re-roll 2 of the dice. And that's 1 more hit for a total of 5. The militia will be defending on 5s, and only get 1 save, adding the 3 wounds for the last attack. We have 7 wounds total. The Spinosaurus wins in melee. This puts the militia below the starting power, which forces them to do a morale check at a quality of 5+. And the militia only gets a 2, so they are removed from battle. The Spinosaurus will now take 2 victory spaces. I will now move Hakatlo. He is in difficult terrain but does not have Strider, so I will roll 2 dice for a maximum of 3. And 3 spaces it is. Next is Lucrezia. Let's do an AI roll to see whether she will melee or shoot. And it looks like she is going to shoot. Lucrezia will take aim at the Spinosaurus. It says a few upgrades will give her an AP of 2, plus she can shoot at a quality of 2+. So she easily gets a hit. With an AP of 2, the Spinosaurus will be defending with 5s. It doesn't get it for 1 wound, knocking the Spinosaurus down and 9 in toughness. In this mission, Da Vinci have an optional special attack called Mechanical Trap if they are in range. On a 4+, the target cannot move for the remainder of the round. And she only gets a 1, so the Spinosaurus is free for now. I will continue with advancing my army east by now moving the geckos. They have Striders, so they can take advantage of the full dice movement. And they get a 4, so that's not bad. Ignato is not close enough to attack any units, so it will just rush south. He does have the ability to pick 1 enemy unit and mark it for a +1 shooting attack from a friendly unit. I misread this rule while filming and thought that you upgrade 1 friendly unit for a +1 attack, so just pretend like that is rule. I don't think it affected the game that much, but just know that the way I'm playing it is incorrect. So Ignato will now upgrade the Vitae area, which now has a +1 in range attacks. I will move the Chameleons west. They have Strider. And another movement of 4. Da Vinci are out of activations, so for the final activation of round 1, I will move the Spiked Lizard east with Strider. And also gets 4 spaces. That concludes round 1. Da Vinci lost a unit, but they will gain a reinforcement unit at the beginning of round 2 through the Void Gate. My Saurians have taken a few wounds, but they will keep trying to advance to the escape zone. Round 2. The Saurians were last to activate in the previous rounds, so Da Vinci will activate first in round 2. Working down my list, we will start with the Vitae area. Rolling for combat decision, and it looks like it will perform a range attack. and it will move and shoot at the closest target, which will be the spiked lizard. The Vita area will have a +1 to hit from the Nocto special in the last round. Crossbow crew has a 4 dice attack at AP1 hitting on 3s. And that's 2 hits, 1 with rending. With the AP1, the spiked lizard has a defense of 4+. For first, we will roll for the rending attack, which means the spiked lizard will need to get a 6. And only gets a 4. Now the defense of 4+, and also doesn't get it. So that will be a total of 2 wounds. The spiked lizard's toughness will drop from a 6 to a 4. This might be a little dangerous, but I'm going to attempt to charge at Lucrezia using the Spinosaurus. For a movement roll, I need to roll at least a 3 to get to her. 1. Yes! Got it. The first melee attack is a stomp, AP1, hitting on 4s. Didn't get a single hit. The second attack is toxic bite, hitting on 4s. Oh my lord. And I get 1 with primal. Extra roll, hitting on 4s. Good grief. Lucrezia has a defense of 4, and she has to reroll 6s because of Bane. So she at least gets 1 wound. Lucrezia will strike back. With all the bonuses, she has an AP of 4, which this is what I was worried about. A 3 dice attack hitting on 3s, and of course she gets 2 hits. Okay, Spinosaurus defending him with 6s, and that's 2 wounds. The Spinosaurus lost in melee, so it will need to take a morale test at a quality of 4+, and it passes. Next on the list and new to battle are the Harlequins, rolling for combat decision. So they will shoot. Jugular bombs have an AP of 2 plus Da Vinci bonus for a total of 3 AP. They are still at a strength of 5, so 5 dice attack hitting on 5s. And they get 2 hits. With 3 AP, the Spinosaurus will be defending on 6s. He gets 1 wound. That knocks the Spinosaurus' toughness down from a 12 to a 6. So we'll need to do a morale test at a quality of 4+. Morale works differently in skirmish, so I'm not really sure about this, so hopefully I'm reading the rules correctly. But I think anytime a model gets a wound past half its wounds, regardless of any kind of activation, I do a morale test even if it's just a range attack. If that is incorrect, feel free to let me know in the comments below. So quality of 4+. Okay, I only rolled a 2, but the Spinosaurus has a special ability that will let me re-roll once. And that was even worse, so the Spinosaurus is now shaken. The chameleons have a range attack. Let's see if I can take advantage of it. Roll for movement. And it's just a 1. At this range, I can hit in Nocto. The chameleons are still at a power of 5, so a 2 dice attack for each, so a total of 10 dice. With good shot, that will be hitting on 4s. Nice, 6 hits. 1 was primal. Well, that was a nice try. And Nocto will be defending with 5s. So that's 2 saves for a total of 4 hits, with a toughness of only 3, and Nocto is routed. Next on the list is Lucrezia, so let's roll for combat decision. And it looks like she will melee towards a Spinosaurus. Fortunately, she has already been in combat for this round, so she is now fatigued, so she will only be hitting with 6s. A 3 dice attack with AP of 4. And she gets 1 hit. Spinosaurus will be defending with 6s. And gets another wound. So here's another question for the comments. The Spinosaurus is already shaken and should automatically fail morale tests, which will cause it to rout. But does the Spinosaurus get to strike back before that? I'm going to assume that it can, so let's do it. So the Spinosaurus will be hitting on 6s for both melee attacks. First will be a stomp, a 4 dice attack, and we get nothing. And now the toxic bite. 2 hits for primal. That will get us 1 more for a total of 3 hits. Lucrezia is defending with 4s. Oof, re-rolling 6s because of Bane. And she saves all 3. The Spinosaurus automatically fails all morale checks while shaken, so now it is routed. Alright, I want to attempt to move and shoot at the Vita area with the spiked lizard. Moving 3 spaces. Shooting spikes is a 2 dice attack at 4+. Nice, I get 1, and with blast that is multiplied to 3. Unfortunately, the Vita area has a defense of 2+. It saves all 3. That unit is pretty tough. The Vinci are out of activation, so I'm going to move everyone else just down the line. The geckos will get a movement of 3. Moving Hakatlo, he gets a maximum of 3. And that is what he'll get. And the final activation will be Teki. And he only gets to move 3 spaces. So that ends round 2. I was feeling pretty good at the beginning of the round when I knocked out Ignato, but then I lost my Spinosaurus, which was my main wall against the army of the Vinci coming. So for the next round, I might focus my attention at rushing all of my Saurians west towards the safe zone without getting into a lot of conflict. Round 3. The Saurians were last to activate in the last round, so once again the Vinci will activate first in round 3. Working down my list, now the Vinci have a new unit called a Kara Amato. This thing is going to be pretty scary. Rolling for combat decision. And it looks like it's going to melee. The first unit that is in the way is the poor chameleons, so it will charge straight down at them. The Kara Amato doesn't have an official melee attack on the weapons list, but it does have a special roll of impact. For this model, when charging, you can roll 6 dice at a quality of 2+. Oof. So naturally, all 6 of those dice would have hit, but the chameleons have an evasion special of -1 to hit rolls. But unfortunately, that still leaves 5 hits. With AP of 1, the chameleons will be defending on 6s. And they don't get a single save. My chameleons are a unit of 5, so they are wiped out in 1 attack. So now the Karamato will take 2 victory spaces. As for my activations, I need to at least get 3 of my 6 units across to safety to win. So I'm going to focus mostly on movement. The Spike Lizard is in charge range in the general direction I need to go, so let's roll for movement. And I get a 5, which will land him just short of the Vita area. Next on the list is the Vita area, so let's roll for combat decision. And then we'll do a range attack. Combat Crew is a 4 dice attack with rending, hitting on 4s. It gets 2 hits, both with rending. The Spike Lizard would be defending on 6s. And gets nothing, which will knock my Spike Lizard down to 1 in toughness. So let's do a morale check. And gets a 1. Let's roll again because of Fearless. And that didn't help, so the Spike Lizard is now shaken. Let's roll and see if the Vita area can mechanically trap the Spike Lizard. It only gets a 2. Next I will rush the geckos east. Rush. And they will only move 3 spaces. The Harlequins are not in position to melee or shoot, so they will just rush south. Now that they have rushed, they are in position to do a mechanical trap on the Spike Lizard, so rolling for trap. And the Spike Lizard gets away. Let's keep rushing Hakatlo to safety. And he gets his maximum of 3 spaces. It's time to activate Lucreza, rolling for combat decision. And she would do a ranged attack. Aiming at the spiked lizard, she has a 1-die attack hitting on 2s. And again, easily gets it. The spiked lizard will be defending on 3s. And the spiked lizard only had a toughness of 1, so it is now routed. The final activation will be Techie, and he gets to move 3 spaces. So that ends round 3 with my Saurians down to the last 3 units. I will need to get all 3 Saurians across to safety to win, but this is not really looking good. There's a lot of Vinci heavy hitters out there, so we'll see what happens. Round 4. The Saurians were last to activate, so once again the Vinci will activate first in round 4. And of course that would be the scary Caramanto, which will activate first on my list. Rolling for combat decision. And it will be a ranged attack, and the closest target would be my geckos. Unfortunately, the Caramanto has 2 range attacks, starting with a cannon battery, hitting on 4s with a lot of AP. And of course it gets all 3 hits. Minus 3 AP, the geckos will now be defending on 6s. And all 3 hits go through, leaving the geckos down to a unit strength of 2. Now rolling for Repeater Crossbow, a 6-die attack with rending, hitting on 4s. 4 hits. With AP plus rending, the geckos will now be defending on 6s again. And that will wipe out my geckos. Well, I needed to get 3 Saurians across and now down to 2, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a victory for the Duches of Vinci. I know that movement dice for the human player might seem a little brutal, but I've actually won in previous playthroughs just testing the game, so I kind of like to challenge a bit when playing solo. I believe that the last time I did win, I stacked all of my units that had Strider at the bottom so they can just zip on across, and then I left all my slowed units up top just to be in the way and do all the combat. I do plan on playing through the entire campaign. I'm on the fence about how I'm going to level up my units. My friend and I have been toying around with adding up all the point values of the units that you took out during the battle and applying them so you can buy new units from the army list. There are ways to level up your surviving units through the official rules, so it might be a mixture of 2 that I will use. If you are interested in the free PDF of this board build, just check out my Patreon or Discord. I also have links in the video below. For the free core rules of Age of Fantasy and to purchase this narrative campaign, please check out onepagerules.com. Be a good friend and hit that thumbs up if you liked the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. You can also find Square Table Union on other social media such as Patreon, Discord, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Be excellent to each other, and I'll see you guys on our next adventure.